You ever sit back and wonder what people are going to say about you when you're gone? I do. Welcome to today's Coffee and Convo, Life After 50. I'm Jay, and today that's what I'm going to focus on, I've unfortunately have had to attend a few funerals in the past few years since I've been 50. One was an older man, close mentor of mine, and the other one was a friend. And that kind of got me thinking about a lot of different things. I mean, like I could sit here and talk about endless things about some of the feelings I was having as you face somebody that you care about or somebody that impacted your life not being around anymore. The thing I took in the most, I believe, though, was sitting at their funeral, celebration for life, and hearing all the loved ones, friends and family stand up, speak about that person and the things they were saying, the things that they were going to remember about them. I remember leaving one of my mentors' funerals, and I thought to myself, now I know what he meant to me, right? I know what he meant to me, but hearing how a lot of what I was feeling about what this person meant to me and how everybody related to him as well in different aspects of life, and just the kind of man that he put himself out there to be, a man of integrity, of approach, everything. Like he was just a pillar of a man. And I thought to myself, wow, truly had to sit and think. And by all means, I'm far from being a bad person. Like I'm one of those guys that would give you the shirt off his back if you needed it, to my detriment at times. There's something to being a man where you need to learn how to be loving and giving, but at the same time stand strong and firm in where you're at and what. Again, I talk a lot about moral values and having your moral compass out and having a true north and this, that, and the other. And I take pride in that. Looks like I'm losing my fire. It's time to change out the gas in the whole fire pit. Well, that's just great timing, fire pit. And I've lost my gas. I have another tank, so I'm good. But I started really sitting down and asking myself, what have you done for those that you love, those that you care about, those that you consider even extensions to your core family, friends, things like that. And again, I didn't find anything negative per se, but it got me thinking about maybe things that I could do better and, maybe having a legacy project. The first people that came to my mind was my children. How do my children truly view me? I grew up with a mean dad, mean dad. He was an alcoholic. He was hooked on drugs. He was not a very kind man. And he had many, many opportunities to self-correct and change his direction, and he chose not to, and he passed away in prison. I carried a lot of fear as a young boy. In fact, my brother and I made a commitment that we were never going to be him. And shout out to my brother, we have not. Not to say the sin of the father doesn't follow you. I mean, there's definitely things that you have to really mentally get over and things that you have to take care of from a mental perspective, not to become your parents. You've all been there. You know what I'm talking about. The good and the bad, right? Sometimes. And I talk to a lot of people. I surround myself around a lot of people. I care about a lot of people. And I don't think I've ever met anybody that does not have a bad thing to say about some experience of their childhood when it comes to their parents. It is what it is. And it's not that they don't realize what their parent actually did for them, and that if it wasn't for the parent, they wouldn't even be where they're at today. Like my mom, one hell of a woman, one solid, stand-up, loving, caring, nurturing, again, probably where I get it, to her own detriment. I have no complaints about my mom but one. And it's probably something I carry over in my life, which is too kind, too nice. Again, learning how to be loving, caring, giving, but yet being able to stay strong and firm. That always shows up with our children. For whatever reason, we always find a way to be able to tell our kids exactly the way it is, because I think it's the control and power we have over our kids. And as they get older into their teenage years and they kind of go back at you, so I thought of my kids and I'm like, man, if there's anybody I may have offended or may have painted a different picture, or they might have a different picture of me, it would be my children. And I actually took the time individually to sit with my children and be like, what have you appreciated? And maybe if you feel compelled, what haven't you feel I've done for you enough? If, spoiler alert, they would not tell me what I haven't done. But trust me, as someone who can humble himself and understand that I'm not a perfect man, I know there's got to be things that deep inside they feel a certain way about something I said, something I did, the way I lived at a certain time in my life. And I'll be honest, especially my older son, I know for a fact when I went through my first divorce, I wasn't in a good place. And, I know nothing directly to him, but I could have been more present. I could have been more sober at times. And I believe that he understands that. But at the same time, I know that he probably feels a certain way. And one day, I hope that he has the courage to face his old man and be like, hey, Dad, I'm going to admit something to you. And I always bring it up now and again just to reassure him, hey, whenever you're ready to talk about anything, I'm here. And that's including about me. And I want to keep that with my children. My daughter, she's getting ready to graduate here in a few weeks. And I'm so excited for her. She's aging out. She's aging out, and she's the one that's more of a daddy's girl, homebody, follows rule follower to the T. I'm sure there's got to be something there too. I think she's too young to have that conversation with me, and of course she didn't say anything either. But then I started thinking about some of my closest friends that I've had since, whether it's been childhood, high school, so on and so forth, and how things have drifted. And I started thinking, man, I wonder if there was anything that they, didn't like about me. What's some of the characteristics? But then again, what if they had the opportunity, what would they say? And I think the bottom line that I've come to realize in my personal life journey thus far, and as I'm here, life after 50, pondering, coffee and convo, having conversations about where I'm at in life, and just, it's always good to think in the past and see where maybe you went wrong or maybe you went right. But there's one thing I've learned. It's not so much what you've done. It's what you're gonna do. And that's my life after 50 thought today, is that no matter what I've done, good or bad, it's not going to affect what I choose to do, in the sense of, like, I can't control the past. I could look back and I could try to figure it out, and I can have conversations with my kids. I can have conversations with friends and family. But honestly, did I learn from any? What did I learn from my past? We're constantly evolving. I mean, look at our world today. It's crazy to see how these kids live today, the things that they're taught, the lack of respect, And if anything, I hope I gave my kids the sense of responsibility to be respectful, to be honorable, to live with integrity. I won't know until they're fully grown and really on their own, right? In my house, I know how it stands, but what's it going to be like when they're in their house? So if anybody in my life stumbles across this video, I hope I was a man of integrity and respect even through my craziness. And if you haven't met me yet, I hope I continue to carry that legacy of integrity and purpose. But at the same time, when I fall and make mistakes, that I'm not too old and damn stubborn to do something about it. I don't want to be that guy, that old man that wants to complain about today's society so much that, get that computer, internet stuff away from me. I will get into that too. Like, I don't want to be that guy that complains about the evolution of society because it's inevitable and it's something we got to deal with. I need to continue to be concerned about self, myself. How am I evolving? How am I growing? Regardless of my age, regardless of the fears that may creep in because of being 50 now and being, again, closer to the end than I am the beginning. You know, how do I adjust my thinking to be present today, not to live in the past, not to be so scared of the future that I walk on eggshells with everybody, or, you know, just live a vibrant life, both mentally, physically, faithfully, and just be me, unapologetically. And, well, unless I know that I've really screwed up. I am who I am. I've done what I've done. For the things I've done wrong, I apologize, even to myself. And to the things and the qualities that I hold dear to my heart that makes me who I am and proud to be the man that I am, I want to continue to be. I can only do that by having a true moral purpose, a compass that points me to my true north, and a support system, friends, family, children, etc., that give me purpose. Yeah, I think that's my thought today, is just live with purpose under your moral code. Join the conversation. Have a cup of coffee with me. Still drinking Pete's coffee cup. I should start doing that. It's my Central California Adaptive Sports coffee mug. Shout out Central California Adaptive Sports. Wonderful program. You want to look up it online, donate, help them out. They help the VA. They help people with disabilities be active. They teach you rock climbing, paddle boarding, kayaking, fishing, mountain biking. They do all sorts of stuff up there, Chevrolet, California. Central California Adaptive Sports. Check them out. Great organization. I do a lot of work with them. But yeah, join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's something that I need to think about, maybe have a conversation about. Grab a cup of coffee. Join me one of these mornings. All right. This has been another Coffee and Convo. My name is Jay, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.